Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Quiz edition 15. As always, this quiz is going to be testing your understanding on a few of the quality tools and techniques and the methodologies. As mentioned in the previous episode, we'll have a few episodes where you have to do some calculations in line with that announcement which we made during our last quiz, MMQ 14. This particular quiz will be on TPM, where the participants will be tested on their understanding of how to calculate OEE. So that's going to be the question for this quiz. So with this few opening remarks, I thank all of you who responded for the quizzes so far. And in line with the type of organizations who are responding, majority of them are pursuing TPM in a to a greater level. They won a lot of excellence awards, and keeping in tune with that, we thought we will shift the game a little bit from SPC, MSA, DOE, and other topics to things like TPM. We also have plans to do FMEA, Lean, etc. in the subsequent editions. So in line with that, we thought we will, this is the first time where probably a question from TPM aspect is being asked in this quiz. So with these opening remarks, let me get on to, I'm sure you'll all be, I do see a lot of the faster finger first fever catching up, especially on a Monday morning. I'm sure you will definitely, at least for those who have subscribed to the YouTube channel, they're all waiting on a Monday morning, I think even before noon, to log on and find out what's the question of this week. So in line with that, so let me not waste, let me not keep you, more anxious. Let me give the question straight away. So let me share my PPT and announce the question for MMQ 15. So Monday morning quiz, MMQ 15 from PQSI, dated the 27th of December, 2021. This is a quiz on overall equipment effectiveness, so OEE. So let's get on with the question. So the question is that you have been given a few data points, and you will have to calculate the availability, performance, and quality rating, and eventually calculate OEE. So there are 4 answers that we're expecting. So the first 3 respondents who get the right answers for all these 4 ratings that we want will be declared the winners, right? So, so these are the data points that you have. You have been given a shift length, which is about 8 hours, then there are short breaks, meal break, downtime, ideal rate, pieces produced, and rejected pieces. So this is the information that will probably help you to calculate all this. So this time our Google form will have, there'll be 4 entries, 4 areas where you can key in your percentage values for those 4. So this should be compared with the correct answers, and then the winners will be declared. So it's just one slide question, but there are 4 items that we need to be calculated. So availability, performance, quality, and OEE. So that's the quiz for those who are probably, well versed in TPM. Yes, here is a chance for you to get into, your names into the list of winners of MMQ. So here's your golden opportunity. So go ahead, and then, all the best for you in this quiz. Now moving on to the second part of the presentation, where we declare the answers of the previous quiz. So we had an MMQ 14, which was dated the 13th December 2021, where the first question was, calculation of control limits, where the grand average was given as 39.39, the average range was given as 4.96, the subgroup size was mentioned as 5. So find the upper control limit and the lower control limits for the average chart. So most of you, 80% of the respondents got it correctly. It's a very straightforward question because you all are familiar with the formulas. The formula for upper control limit is X bar plus A2 times R bar. and the lower control limit is x double bar minus A2 times R bar. So since x bar and R bar are already mentioned, and for those who are familiar with the control chart weighing factors table, you can look at the table and find out the value for A2, in the subgroup size of 5. The A2 value for a subgroup size of 5 is 0.577. So if you substitute in that formula, you get the answers. Upper control limit as 42.25 and the lower control limit as 36.53. Okay, so now a lot of people, got this question correctly. And moving on to the second question, which was talking about an NP chart calculations, the control limits of an NP chart. So we gave you the NP bar, which is 6, and the subgroup size was mentioned as n is equal to 24. So again, using the formula for in line with the binomial distribution, the formula for upper control limit for an NP chart is NP bar plus 3 times square root of NP bar into 1 minus NP bar divided by n. So that's the formula that we use for the NP chart. And when you use the formula, you get an upper control limit of 12.36 and a lower control limit, of minus 0.36. But since, in attribute, it's a count data, so we generally consider the lower limit as 0. Okay, so defects or defectives will not go below 0. So we many times when we get a negative lower control limit, we assume it as 0. So few of you had mentioned the answer as 0, which is also correct. And for some, they also mentioned as minus 0.36. So we took that also as a correct answer. So again, the 80% responses were correct for this question. And we moved on with the third question again on control limits. This time, instead of telling you what chart it is, we just gave you a situation of an automotive OEM, wanting, getting the number of defects observed during final inspection. So the number of defects observed, the average number was 36.68. And we were asked to find the UCL and LCL for an appropriate chart. So this chart is, of course, as the description indicates, it is defects. So in the attribute selection criteria, it goes into the defect section. And since the subgroup size is fixed, it's a fixed timing. The average number of defects observed in the process for a particular unit. So that is where it becomes a C chart. So the formula for C chart, the upper control limit is C bar, which is what is given as 36.68 plus 3 times square root of C bar. So your upper control limit is 54.85 and your lower control limit is C bar minus 3 times square root of C bar, which is 18.51. So about 70% of the respondents got this correctly. So this time the quiz had, I think, of all the quizzes, I think quiz number 14 had the maximum number of responses correct for most of all the 3 questions. It's 80% for question 1 and question 2 and 70% of question 3. However, as always, the top 3, the first 3 who respond with the right answers are declared winners. So the winners of MMQ 14, the 3 winners are Mr. R. Balasubramanian, Plant Manager, Amalgamations Value Clutch, Chennai. Mr. Jagadish U, Quality Manager of Praxair India Private Limited. So Jagadish has been an avid quizzer of MMQ, I think almost every quiz he attempts. And he has made it as, he has been the first fellow to call it as the hat-trick winner. I mean, this is the 3rd time he's winning an MMQ 14. Of course, he's winning the MMQ quiz. And of course, he had also given correct answers in many other occasions also. So he's been one of the top 3. So he gets it. And then the 3rd person who gets this award is Mr. Murali Krishnan, a manager corporate EQM of JK Tires and Industries Limited. So congratulations to all the 3 winners. And it's actually heartening to note that even senior management team people like plant heads, they're also getting into quizzing, which is a good sign. And that's what is all about. MMQ is all about, to get people from different industries, different sectors, and different levels getting into it. We have people, and of course, apart from these 3, there are other winners also. There were a few other winners, especially again, a good number of winners are from companies like Rane Brake Linings and other companies, which is a good sign. And I really encourage you to continue. For those who have already attempted and got into the MMQ family, I think you should continue quizzing. And there are going to be more and more easier quizzes when it comes to calculations. And so I think the next 2-3 questions also you will probably see a good number of people getting the right answers very early. Of course, the faster finger first, only the top 3 gets the merit certificate and the cash voucher. But based on the request from one of the participant, we have now started issuing merit certificates to all those who give correct answers. So starting from MMQ 15, anybody who gives a correct answer will get a merit certificate. But the top 3, apart from a merit certificate, they also get the gift voucher of ₹1,000. So that's the change that we continue to get feedbacks, and then based on that, we incorporate that in the subsequent quizzes. So with this, few words, let me, wish you all the best. And for those who are, wanting to get into quizzing, the answers for those who are probably getting into MMQ for the first time. So this YouTube video, in the comment section, there'll be a Google link. So you need to click on that Google link and then get into the answers. This time you will have to enter 4 numbers, related to OEE, calculation of OEE. So all the very best to all of you. Look forward to receiving your responses. I guess, the winners will be probably freezed by today itself. Looks like that, because the question being a very straightforward, direct question. I expect a lot of responses very early, and those who are probably subscribed have an edge here because they get notified and they get onto the Google form and do these calculations and key in the results. But nevertheless, wish you all the best. And since the next week, that is on the 3rd January 2022, we'll be declaring the winners of MMQ 15. So wish you all a very happy new year. Wish you all a happy, healthy, and a prosperous new year 2022. And with the hope that 2022, I will probably, before we end 2022, we will probably have an in-person meet of all the winners and all the participants of MMQ sometime, at some location in India. On that note, a very happy new year to everyone. And signing off, this is Nanda from PQSI for the Monday Morning Quiz.